Hi there, I'm Lyndon Thorpe. Welcome to the Mindset Millionaire Breakthrough. And today is event 11 of our series. I can't believe it. We've got through these events so quickly. But yes, today we're going to talk about health is wealth. And I've got a really great guest with me. I'm going to introduce him to you in a moment. And we'll get started with a short presentation. So let me bring him into the studio. Just one moment. There. Hi there, MJ. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Very short notice too. We were chatting recently and I suddenly had a great feeling to invite MJ to our event. So let me first of all introduce him to you, a little bit about his background. He's a former director of operations in the BPO industry, and he brings strategic approach to talent and employer branding. Having led large-scale teams and optimized processes, MJ understands that operational success is deeply tied to employee engagement and performance, and I couldn't agree more. But now, business development leader himself, he partners with other employee experience leaders to drive impactful strategies in employer branding, talent assessment, and recruitment. And this unique blend of operational expertise and talent strategy allows AJ to help organizations not only attract the right people, but also nurture them for long-term success. So wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for coming. MJ, I'm going to start off with a little presentation. So please be patient and I will introduce the topic today and then you'll be able to see what it's all about. So, health is wealth. Yeah. Your body is your business plan. I'm going to be really interested to hear what MJ thinks about all this when I've finished. Your body is the business plan. Okay, let's go a little bit bigger and then we'll be able to get the full impact. Here we go. Good. Okay. So, in summary then, health is not a supplement to success. It's a strategy, not a supplement. You can't be and maybe be healthy on the side. It is the strategy to success. And as I've said in previous events and also in my Lodestone Q&A on Friday, inflammation, burnout, disembodiment are hidden barriers to clarity and wealth, especially inflammation. It actually kills millions of people with cardiovascular disease, diabetes. Cancer is an inflammation condition. And inflammation is often brought about by stress. Yeah. And here I'd like to help you to build your own wellness wealth plan. Let's go on a little bit. So here are questions for you to think about. I know that MJ is thinking about them too. Do you look after your health on a daily basis? Are you getting enough quality sleep and nutrition? Are you truly happy and enjoying your life? Is your mind clear? Are you living life the way you would like to? What is your ideal life? And is your nervous system supporting or sabotaging you? Can you hear your body's wisdom? Are you inflamed, depleted, or numb, exhausted? And what does an embodied, wealthy, successful person feel like? Okay, so those are some questions. I'd like you to focus a little bit on the topic. And then if you have any questions, please ask them. We will see them here in the studio, and I will address them. But if you prefer, then please leave them in the comment box below this live window, and I'll attend to them later. Okay, so first of all, balance is my middle name. Balance is the most important word. And balancing health balances wealth. It's true. If you're happy and healthy, then you're going to attract good things. It's the law of attraction. It's an ancient universal law. If you put something good out, you'll get something good back. Something bad, something bad. Like attracts like. It's a karmic law. And all the time, our lives are governed by karma. Karma is really regulating your entire life. Everything you do has a ripple on the great ocean of all existence. Everything. And it will show up in your DNA later. It will show up in your life. So that's why living a really useful and purposeful life and helping other people is so important. So the law of karma really does create our lives along with our DNA. Oops, sorry, we've gone ahead with that. So in the middle of all this, you have to remember that you are the supreme ruler of your mind. Only you can make changes. Only you can decide about your life. No one else can. Now, we make the mistake of thinking other people can make decisions for us. That's the whole structure of traditional work and traditional education. It's not true. Only we can control our inner universe. And just a few tips here. I love my cat here. I teach body work. And this cat is so alert. Look at it. Every skin pore, every hair follicle is alert. Clearly, it's hunting for something. It's going to either have a good eat of something or it's going to be attacked, maybe. So every tiny sound, every tiny movement in that environment, this animal is completely open to. So if you want to live like this, if you want to live your life looking as beautiful as this, then you need to exercise every day, at least 30 minutes. You want to take regular breaks, especially from the screen. You want to go outside every 10 minutes and get some fresh air. You should use affirmations like, I prioritize my health and well-being to achieve wealth, to achieve true wealth. Yes, we are animals. Yeah, we imitate nature. We are part of nature. We're not separate from it. And it's good to read really relaxing things. I'm a great believer in poetry. If I read a really beautiful poem, that relaxes me a lot. And of course, going to bed early, getting up early, getting the golden hours for sleep is so important too. Now, let me remind you about the other events in this series. MJ doesn't know about this, but we've already worked through 10 of them. But yes, we started off by breaking the chains, the 9 to 5 chains, getting confidence. Then we started to use gratitude, which is the most excellent foundation for success. Then we talked about uniqueness and how we can use our unique skills. Every single human being is totally unique. Unique DNA, unique perspective. We think we're similar, but we're not. We're uniquely different. In event 4, we looked at goal setting, but internal goal setting, not smart goals or anything out there where we perform. Inside is important for goal setting. Event 5 was talking about the traditional 9 to 5, an hourly rate, a paycheck. Is this really the right price for your passion and your purpose? We settle for it. But really, that's not how it should be. In event 6, we talked about the digital aspect of becoming successful online, and it's easy to get left behind. Wow, is it? We have to keep up every day with digital changes, and if you don't have a strong digital ID, you've got to get one quick. Everybody needs one for the future. We talked in event 7 about monetizing your uniqueness, which I have done in my businesses. Event 8 is about your creativity and sustaining that. You may have a few creative moments, but when you're developing your own business, you have to be creative all the time. Event 9 is about support communities and networks, so important as you travel these often difficult roads towards success. And last week we talked about building resilience, which is, for me, the most important. The ability to bounce back, even when things go wrong, terribly wrong. And they do. If we can bounce back, then we will survive. So today, health is wealth, and we still have next week the ideal life. And in event 13, I'm going to hand over to you the blueprint of all of this so that you can get on with your own transformation to success. So let's just have a little bit more of a dive into disembodiment. So if you're not in your body, and we're seeing this so much with burnout, imposter syndrome, scarcity syndrome, and even worse, suicide, which happens where I live in Japan all the time. Last year, 20,000 suicides. Most of them were responsibility suicides. That means someone in a position of power inside a company just couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, awful. So that kind of disembodiment really engenders inflammation. And 90% of illnesses are inflammation related. And this is from Harvard. So it's true, and it's quite recent too. Entrepreneurs, when they're working alone, often burn out in silence. They are determined, and they don't ask for help. There's been a whole spate of articles this week on LinkedIn about asking for help. People are too proud. And finally, Zinzino, which is my partner company, uses blood tests to really find out your level of inflammation. And then you can address it with their amazing natural products to balance you. They're called balance oils. Superb. I'm a new person. My use of the Zinzino oils. Yeah, you can see in the image here, she is embodied. He is disembodied. Maybe he thinks he's successful, but look at him. Look at his posture. Look at his expression, the skin. There is no radiance there at all. So everything starts on the inside, as I've said many times. So really, wellness is your business strategy in a way. Energy is your currency. And my lodestone product will work on your breath, your posture, your awareness. And this will help you to build a spiritual infrastructure so that you can sustain your business and keep going. The most important thing about being in business is constancy and consistency. You've got to keep showing up. If you don't turn up one day, you lose some audience members. They're looking for you. They want to communicate with you. I work on LinkedIn mainly, and I'm there all the time. I'm extremely active on LinkedIn, and my audience is really growing, and they expect certain things from me, which I give them. Now, today, I'm also going to give you a free, it's called Healthy Habits for Wealthy Minds. I've written this myself, and it talks about the 4 anchors of your wellness wealth plan: movement and mobility, stillness and sleep, fuel and focus, and meaningful metrics. So if you want to know more about that, just DM us, and Natasha, my lovely assistant, will send you a copy. And if you have registered for these events, you'll automatically get a copy of this sent to you by email. A few more tips. Gratitude is so important. I start every single day with gratitude. I'm so grateful to get through the night. I'm not young now. I'm getting on. And it's so wonderful to know that I've greeted another morning. So I'm so grateful for my breath and my ability to breathe during my sleep. So gratitude is so important. Visualize your day. Now, many people say, I can't do visualization. Yeah. The trick is you need a good teacher. So DM me and I will teach you. I've been teaching animated visualization for many years. And it's all a question of your feelings. If you add your feelings to your visualizations, that will make the world of difference. Establish your movements, and that means boundaries too. Be prepared to say no. I can't, I'm too busy. Make time for sleep. Don't go without sleep. It will accumulate. That deprivation will accumulate, and eventually you'll get sick or worse. And I don't want you to do that. Digital detoxing. We are all screen crazy, but you've got to switch off from it. So go for a walk, go for a swim, have a shower, do something away from the screen. And don't worry, you're not going to damage anything by taking 30 minutes off. You need cellular calm. And we can't do that very easily, most of us, in front of a screen. There's too much happening on the screen. And always, before I sleep, I review my day. What has been good? What could I do better? What should I do tomorrow as a result of my successes today? Always very positive. That's really important before you let go and fall into sleep. Yeah, now, if you want my help, you can DM me. I'm going to give you a free Zoom call. Well, actually, a Google Meet call now. I've changed from Zoom. And I will do a needs analysis. I will have a look at your goals, your passions, your mindset. I'll help you to create websites easily in 6 steps. I'll audit your social media platforms, help you to start build an audience, create content. I'm a content master. I'm creating it all day long. And I will help you establish a sustainable, productive work routine. But most importantly, I will teach you how to employ mindfulness and visualization in everything you do. You can see me there working on one of my clients. In this series, if you sign up for my email list, you're going to get 5 free video trainings. If you also sign up, you'll get a flip book, which is all about these events, which will be starting again in September. And all of these downloadables are available. Just DM me and I will send them to you. I'd like to just quickly mention before MJ gets too impatient with me, my legacy partnership. This is something for those of you who would like to start a business, but you're not comfortable with making a lot of money. I've created a system where you can partner with a person who has no hope in hell of a bright future, or even of accessing the internet, perhaps. A refugee camp member, a war zone person. I've got lists of people who we can help. We who have money and digital means. So if you're interested in learning more about my legacy partnership, please DM me and I'll tell you more. If you want to train with me, my Millionaire Commitment Path has 3 tiers. You can join at the beginning if you're a newbie, the Awakening, and then you can go to the Accelerator if you're midway with your business. And finally, you can go to the Unshakable, and I'll help you scale even further. This is the Escape 9-to-5 Grind e-workbook. It's live. You buy a lifetime license and you get all the videos, audios, everything that I put into all of these events, even the slides. You get everything in this, and it's growing all the time. It's a living record. You can also enter your thoughts and feelings into it. Yeah, my Zinzino partnership is really important. If you'd like to know more, please contact me. And yeah, next cycle 4, we're going to be much more focusing on embodiment. Spirit will meet science. I'm going to be talking to you about tuning fork embodiment, your inner compasses being recalibrated, your body as your most glorious asset, quantum posture, and energy mastery. So that's my little put there. Thanks so much for your patience, MJ. Yeah, I'd love to have your impressions of my Health is Wellness presentation. What do you think?
Oh, that's very comprehensive, and I love it. Just imagine the fact that everything is built into a specific system or process that would really allow you to be able to know yourself better. And that being healthy is the foundation of everything. Would really make things more unique for you. So yeah, really happy to be part of this conversation.
Thank you. I'm very happy you're part of it too. It's great. Yes, wellness. How do you feel about health? What is your view of health in general?
Health for me is the foundation. Foundation success is built on. So without physical energy, mental clarity, or even emotional stability, even the best plans fall apart. And you can hustle your way to the top, but if your body breaks down, your mind burns, burns out or your relationships suffer, is it really success, right? So
Mm.
that's really the reason why I really believe that health is the foundation for which success is built on.
Great. I'm glad you agree. I think it's so important. The other day, somebody said to me, um, why should I think about my body? It's an obstacle. I was so shocked by that comment. And I talked to him and I said, do you really think the body is an obstacle? And he kind of backtracked and said, oh, well, maybe that's a bit strong. But clearly it came out. It's a kind of Freudian slip, I think. I was so sad about that comment because through my embodiment work, which I've been doing for decades, I've really realized that the body is your most precious asset. It's a remarkable mechanism, miraculous mechanism. I've studied anatomy and physiology very deeply over the years and trained to be an MD as well. Didn't actually do that in the end, but did most of the training. I'm fascinated by the body. So what about you? I mean, how do you view your body, MJ?
Yeah, I mean, I view my body as, it always whisper when it's, before it screams, right? So any single tension in the shoulder, those sleepless nights, those sudden calls when you're just about to launch something big, it's not random. It's a red flag. So most people push it. I used to before when I was younger, but I realized that every ignored signal added interest to adapt. My body would eventually collect. So I started listening earlier, pausing, recalibrating, protecting the asset, which is my body. So that's really how I view body.
Excellent. Well, I'm so glad, and I kind of knew that. You're so robust, I must say. And so, yeah, I thought you'd have a really good attitude to health. What about exercise? What's your advice about exercise? I guess you're like me, you're on the screens all day, you're dealing with the internet most of the day as a business owner. How do you fit in exercise to your day?
This is a good question. Before I was really, more into just staying on my desk all the time, living the sedentary lifestyle. But then again, my life changed when I had my dog. If you're in the video, you can follow her on Instagram. When I have her, she really forces me to go outside, take a walk, really appreciate life. And exercise really has been a vital part of my life. But then again, I myself can say, I'm not really consistent in terms of exercising, given the workload, right? But taking a step forward would really, you know, help you become more organized in your life, as well as it would help you, you know, become better in terms of being able to manage your health.
Yes, I think, people say, oh, I don't have time for exercise. And, it's as if time is a kind of demon, that steals their lives away. And this is what I said earlier in my presentation. You are the supreme ruler of your mind. So you can say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go out
Mhm.
and exercise. But people don't. And this is really becoming a problem, isn't it, with burnout and imposter syndrome, which is terrifying thing, I think, to imagine that you are not worthy of your success, to be successful to the world, but inside you're collapsing and cringing because you don't feel worthy of it. This is really so awful, I think. And so this disembodiment I mentioned really is my mission. I'm so keen to get people embodied again through various means. But the first step really is getting control of the mind. And so I do that through meditation work and mindful practice. How about you? Do you meditate? Do you do anything to control your mind?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I am a Christian. So being able to control my mind would be more of being able to channel all my thoughts through prayers and worships. So that's how I um, meditate, and that's how I used
Ah,
to, control and look at a better perspective in life.
ah, you're a Christian. Great. And so you find that prayer is um, uh, calming and gives you purpose in life?
Yes, indeed. It gives me that level of comfort too, knowing that, um, we have our Lord, our God, that's always there, with us in everything that we do and everything that, and that gives me the sense of purpose in life. Really thinking that in everything that I do, everything that I say, every single person that I get to talk to, I would be able to, really magnify His glory. So that really gives me that sense of purpose in life.
Right. I think I picked that up from you too, that you are a spiritual person, and that's wonderful. I find myself magnetized to spiritual people, and I think they recognize it in me too. And so most of my connections on LinkedIn are really quite spiritual. It's so lovely. Yeah. Um, and so, what's your future looking like, MJ? Do you have big plans for your business future?
That's a very good question. My future looks bright, of course. I'm very optimistic. And I know
Good.
that, yeah, and I'm really looking forward to that. That's what makes life more exciting, right? Looking and knowing that every single step that you're taking today will really help you, get a brighter future. So I myself had been um, a director of operations back in the days. So being able to climb up the ladder had been a passion of mine back in the days. But now I'm more into how I can help others become better, either through coaching or even, um, being able to really help them achieve more while giving their time back, right? So that they can focus more on their family, friends, and community.
Right. Great. So tell us more about that. How do you do that in your business?
This is a good question. Back in the days, as a director of operations, I always, we receive the end product of recruitment, of assessments, coming from um, our recruitment and HR team. And I saw an opportunity there on how, I would be able to really influence and elevate the lives of and processes around human resources. And that's the reason why I joined Talent View as their business development lead. And now I'm handling recruitment, sourcing, as well as talent assessments that would really, make the process a lot more efficient in terms of being able to source, identify the right person for the right role.
Oh, right. So do you have a interview technique that you use? I too used to be a hirer in universities. I was often asked to hire new teachers
Mhm.
and so on. And I interviewed with a team or a panel, and I was quite often head of the panel. And people were really surprised at how spiritual I was. Of course, I can't, deny my spirituality, but it really came through even in that kind of formal situation. And so many colleagues would say, "Oh, wow, people just really relax with you so much, and
Mhm.
they trust you." And I really am so thrilled that that is the case. I would hate to not be trusted by people. I think human trust, wow, it's an extremely valuable thing if we and of course at this time as AI ascends and humanity is being, if you like, put under the microscope, then trust has become even more important, hasn't it? The other day I had a client say to me, "Oh, I really don't think I trust the internet." So I said, "Well, you're on the internet. How can you not trust it?" And she said, "Oh no, I'm very fearful of doing anything on the internet." So I said, "But the internet is made up of people. Of course, there are scammers, there are people who, break the boundaries and so on, of course, but we are dealing with that and it's getting a safer and safer place to be." And so I said, "So you don't trust the people on the internet?" She said, "Well, they're not real," she said. And I said, "Well, am I real?" She said, "Yes, you're real." I said, "Well, everybody on the internet I meet is real. And I've never actually come across a bot on social media because I've formed relationships. I've forged relationships steadily. And so I can say I trust most of the people I network with. So this poor girl, she's really so scared that she's going to get tricked by a bot or something like that. And so it became a real question with me. How can we reassure people that the internet is only as good as the people who are on the internet, you know?
I agree. Maybe it's just really more of having the right perspective in terms of dealing with people, right? Knowing that each and everyone really have that good intention. Even in the age of AI, I also believe that AI wouldn't be there if not because of the people who built it, who continue to nourish it with information as we continue to train, develop AI. Um, AI will definitely stay for good. It will help us become more efficient, right? But the most important thing there would really be for every single touch point when you communicate with other people, it's really important that you have to show your authentic self, and it will always shine out regardless of what the situation is. You will always, your authenticity will definitely help you um, stand out in the crowd.
Yes, and I think that's what people sense, So trust is really about your self-sincerity. That's always been a very important point for me as a Buddhist, and I suspect for you as a Christian. If I can't be honest with myself, how can other people trust me? And so that
Correct.
is so important. I think when you're interviewing, if you really have a strong relationship with yourself, if you really know yourself and you can be authentic, as you mentioned, people relax and they recognize that. I think it's interesting that most people think they are not sensitive to invisible things like trust and compassion and so on. But in fact, we all are. Of course, the mind, if we let it, will convince us that we're not sensitive. But I think human beings, their very existence means that they're sensitive to everything around them.
Agree.
But the trick is getting the mind under control, the wild horse of the mind, as we say in the Buddhist teachings. And once you've got that under control, then you start to really get in touch with your true nature.
Correct.
You agree, and clearly you are really authentic and you're really being you, aren't you? I can tell that. And I knew that at the moment we met. And so I think our job, um, me with my embodiment work and you with your business strategies and so on, and recruitment, we've got to really spread this idea that we are, if we are human, then we are trustworthy. Basically, we're basically good.
Correct.
But so many people are disillusioned about that because of scams and so on and so forth. So just moving on a little bit, tell me more about your recruitment approach, your approach to recruitment, because I believe you are recruiting virtual assistants and remote executives.
Um, Correct. So it would really depend on the company that we support. In terms of recruitment, the most important thing would be competency, right? Each and every candidate must possess the right competency, the right skills in order for them to be able to become successful in their role. So it's important that we look at their personality and values. Is it really aligned to the organization that they will be
Mm,
supporting? And
mm,
do they have the right skills? Because based on based on what I usually hear, based on the actual experience, is that when the rubber hits the road, that's where people leave the company, right? Especially even if you would have the right competency, even if you're the most skilled person to take over the role, but if your personality and your values are aligned with the organization, then at the end of the day, um, everything will fall back. So, and that's what we don't want to happen. We want to make sure that
mm,
you know
mm,
we
mm.
we we want to make sure that we focus on how we can future proof the organization and then the company.
Right. Yes. Future proof and social proof and so on. So important, I think, aren't they? And what about your approach to well-being within your remit, within your work in recruitment?
Mhm.
Are you actively using any well-being techniques or wellness approaches?
I always believe in terms of being able to look at things holistically, right? Not only personality, cognitive abilities, but overall well-being of an individual. It would really allow you to make them feel that you truly care as an organization. So it is really important that when you say that this is our values, that we're family first, then the candidates must really feel that on day one that they are being valued, that you're a family first organization. So well-being is very important, because when you don't focus on the well-being, then you'll chase hustle and burnout. So and often people would wonder why they keep hitting the same ceiling, right? So well-being is very critical. It is very important.
Great. And what's your attitude to sleep and diet and so on? Um, do you follow the rules? Do you get golden hour sleep? Do you eat a balanced diet?
I should say that I am not getting, enough good quality sleep lately, right? Maybe it's because of the combination of different factors. But then again, I see to it that I have an executive day wherein, I get to pause for the day, get to relax, and it really set up time for myself, that allowed me to become more effective and efficient. In terms of diet, uh, not really, but um, I always believe in being able to balance things out, right? Um, in terms of diet, exercise, and healthy living. but being
Good.
able to take pleasures of the world as well. So I won't deny
Yeah.
myself of of having good food, right?
Oh, it's so important, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Balance in all things. Oh, MJ, it's so lovely to talk to you. And you've got such a lovely presence, and you're clearly a very balanced person. So you're perfect for this Health is Wellness event. I'm so grateful for you to spare the time to come and be with us. Um, so, yeah, if you could give any final advice to someone who's seeking success in their career, whether it's within a company or as a solopreneur or whatever it is, what would be your advice to them?
I'll go back to our topic, which is your body is the business plan, right? It means that you are the blueprint. You're not the deck, you're not the strategy, you're you. You know, if your body breaks down, the business slows down. If your energy is scattered, so is your execution. If you're anxious or exhausted, your decisions reflect that. So your body is the business plan. So just want to remind,
Great.
everyone, right, that before for business owners out there, before you scale systems, you need to be this, you need to steward yourself. And before we chase growth, you need to protect the vessel that carries it, which is our body. So that's it.
Excellent. I'm so glad because, yes, I think the body is the business plan is the best title we've ever had for one of these events. I think it's really good. Yeah, look no further. Once the body is really balanced, everything else will fall into place. It's true, really true, in my experience, certainly. So I'd better not keep you any longer, I think, MJ. Thank you so much for coming. I've really enjoyed talking to you. And I hope you'll come back sometime. We're just coming to
Definitely.
the end of this. Really good, good, good. We're coming to the end of this series, but next series will be really very special because we're going to really focus on embodiment, and I'm doing some meditation work and mindful practice actually in the event, because that's what people want. They don't want talk; they want experience, and embodiment is all about experience. As I know you know that. So yeah, I will not hesitate to invite you back again. We're going to create a syllabus actually for the next event series, and all will be laid out, and you can reserve your place to, according to your choice of topic or your timing, and come and be a guest in the studio on StreamYard. So I'd love that to happen next event. We'll start in September, mid-September. So reluctantly, I will say, let's bring this lovely event to a close. And thank you so much, my colleague and friend MJ, for speaking to us from the Philippines. I'm in Japan, so we really are Pacific people. And thank you to all the LinkedIn members who've attended and registered for this event. And also thank you to the YouTubers who we're also streaming to. And if you have any questions or want to talk in any way about anything we've mentioned, please contact me. You can DM me, you can book a call with me, or you can contact MJ too if you'd like to talk to him. We'll put his details in the window below this live. And next week, we're going to be looking at your ideal life. So I hope you'll join me then. Everybody has an ideal of how they'd like to live, but not many people are living that ideal. I'm very fortunate because I am. I retired from full-time work 2 years ago, and ever since then I've been doing exactly what I want to do. So I'm living my ideal life, definitely. So please join us next week. And this is the Millionaire Mindset Breakthrough. I'm Lyndon Thorpe. My guest is MJ. Thank you so much. Have a brilliant day. Thank you.